Hi, welcome to Miles Community College. My name is Annie Anderson and I work at the Learning Center. Today I'm going to talk to you about advising. So, what is advising? Advising is when you are going to meet with your person on campus that's going to help you navigate through your courses, what's next on transferability, what your plans are, all of the good stuff. So, I made myself smaller here so we can kind of walk through this page together. On your SOAR module, where you are right now, under advising, there's some links right in here that you might need to pay attention to. So the first one here is your advising syllabus. I'm going to download that, open it up, and kind of walk through that with you. What is a syllabus? Well, it kind of is like the roadmap of what a class looks like and what you have to do for the semester. Same thing with this. So a syllabus is going to be a roadmap of what you need to do for your advising. What do you need to be prepared for, and what the advisor is going to ask you, and things you can think about. So on the first part about here is the student responsibilities. And if you can see behind the word student is the word advisee, that's what you are. You are going to be advised by an advisor. That makes you an advisee. Kind of confusing. You'll get the hang of it. So we want you to think about your reflections, your abilities, like what you want to get out of college, what kind of learner you are, those kind of things. So things to think about before you meet with your advisor are going to be in this section right here. The advisor's responsibility is this one right in here. So we are going to help you, provide you with the easiest, shouldn't say easiest, the path of least resistance of getting your degree and maximizing your time and your efforts and your energy and your money here at college. So please look over that because that's what your advisor is going to be looking at also. Throughout the year, you're going to have different times you're going to see your advisor. This very first one at SOAR, you're going to meet an advisor. It might not be your advisor just because it's in the summer and sometimes schedules don't always work out. So you will meet an advisor today and you will go through the syllabus and you will go through classes. They might talk to you about what your goals are, some things that you're thinking about, concerns about coming to college, and they're going to help you get a schedule for this fall. Now, once you come to class this fall, or come on campus this fall, your advisor may change, so please be aware of that. And usually it's a faculty member. Unless you're in a nursing program, then we have a staff member who will help out with that. So depending on your major, will depend on who your advisor is going to be. Usually, the advisor is the person who's teaching most in those areas. So for instance, if you're going into business, your advisor would be the business instructor. If you're going into ag, it would be the ag instructor. So those type of things. If you're going into general studies, we've got lots of people that can help with that. Just to keep you up on date. For today's appointment, for the SOAR advising appointment, it's on the second page of this syllabus. It says the SOAR advising appointment opens the door for advising. Like this is your very first time. You're like walking into this for the very first go. So you and your advisor will use a degree program and scope and sequence to figure out what your course schedule is going to be and what your next semester is going to look like. And then each fall and each spring we do have advising days, and those are days that we do not have classes, that you meet with your advisor and you go through what's next on your plan. Are you thinking about transferring after MCC? What career goals you may have, some problems that you might be having, those kind of things. You're going to touch base with that person at the minimum 2 times a year. We encourage it lots more than that. So, but for today, let's go back up and look at the SOAR advising appointment. And for right here, it says you will need your degree, program, scope, and sequence. So we're going to pop back off here and we're going to scroll down to here. So this is a link to our website. So if you click on degrees, programs, and course requirements, and then you can look at what you are thinking about going into. If you're a general study student and you're not just sure yet, you're just taking some generals to get started on either an AA or an AS, this is where you would land. If you are thinking more specialized, you just click on the link for those. For instance, if you're in education majors are going to click here to the education pathway. And if we scroll down, these are the classes that you will probably take the first fall semester of your freshman year. So you would talk with your advisor about getting signed up for these ones. And then, of course, right here is going to be a math requirement. There's no letters or numbers out here, so that's a conversation you'll have with your advisor on what best math class is best for you. So if you see these ones that are bolded in bold letters and numbers here, these ones are non-negotiable. So you have to take EDU 101, you have to take RIT 101, you have to take Psych 100, you have to take COMEX 111. But for the math one, we don't know exactly where you land for your placement, so that's a conversation with your advisor. If you look at your second semester of your first year, there are some down here that do not have that. So humanities, science core, electives. This is a great conversation to have with your advisor, like what classes are you interested in, what classes do you need to transfer to the next college, what would be best for an elective. Usually electives are whatever you are interested in, but sometimes taking an elective that will help you complete your bachelor's degree is a really great idea. So that would be a conversation you'd have with your advisor. So you see how this is all kind of playing out. Your advisor really needs to know about you so they can best help you. So you're going to go through that, and it will kind of give you a game plan for the next 4 semesters. Each semester is going to be on average about 15 to 16 credits. If you're taking a 2-year degree, it will end up about 60-ish credits. This one I believe is 63 to 64, so around that ballpark area. And so we want to make sure you're taking classes that are going to keep you moving in the right direction at the pace you are interested in taking them. If you want to take this a little bit slower, that's totally fine, but just know that if you take it slower pace, you're not going to finish your 2-year program in 2 years. No problem. That's just a different path. So if you're thinking about going into a certification or a 1-year program, then that would be different, where you'd only have 2 semesters to look at versus all 4. Okay, we're going to go back to, this is your advising shell in Canvas, and then we're going to go to the course schedule. So if I click on this, this is another link out to our website. And if you notice, we have spring of 23, summer 23, fall of 23. You would obviously be in fall of 23. And this is where your advisor is going to walk you through how to sign up for classes. So this is all the major categories that we have for our classes. Do you remember when we just talked about the education pathway? And that first class that you need to take on education pathway is EDU 101. So what we would do is we would click on education. I'm going to move my screen over this way a little bit. And here is Teaching and Learning, A Critical Introduction to Public Education, EDU 101. And this number right here is called the CRN, and that's the number that you're going to need to register for classes. There's these other letters and numbers over here that might be kind of confusing. Let me walk you through that. 1 means that's the first section. B means it's blended, like part of it is online, part of it is in person, and V means it's videoed. So that means that if you are interested in taking this class, know that you will meet 2 days a week in person, 1 day a week online, and all of the lectures will be videoed. Every class runs things a little bit differently. You might not see those letters on the back of those class names, so make sure you talk to your advisor. They know what it's all about. I'm going to go back to our Canvas shell. So far we've talked about your syllabus, we've talked about your degree program and your requirements, we've talked about the schedule. Now, once you and your advisor go through the whole degree program and figure out what classes you want to take, what can you take, what works with your work, or if you're on work study or sports or whatever it is, you finally get a plan. And when we get a plan, we go to our student advising contract. And I'm going to pull my screen back over so you can see it again. So a student advising contract, gosh, I'm going to move my head all over the place today, looks like this. And so those CRN numbers that I showed you earlier, that's what we're going to put in here. We'll put the course name, the credits, and then when and where you're going to meet for that class. This is a great piece of paper because you will get a copy of it, your advisor will get a copy of it. You can go and sign up for classes once you've talked through all of this with your advisor, so you have a set plan. Now, some advisors use this paper pencil where they'll print it out for you and give it to you. Others advisors will use it electronically and email it to you. Either way, it's totally fine. You're going to use this kind of paper with your advisor. On the bottom of this paper, there's a thing called an advising pin. This pin can only be given to you through your advisor. This means that you cannot sign up for classes until you have talked to your advisor, they have given you a pin, and everybody agrees on what classes would be best suited for you. Does that mean you can never change? Oh no, totally, you totally can. But it's just best to get that information to your advisor, so then when we meet again, you'll be able to like, oh, this is what happened. You know, let's go from here. So this is pretty important. This is called your advising contract. Okay. So now before once you get all that done, you'll go to your banner page. Now, your banner login page, this is where you're actually going to sign up for classes. And I'm not going to walk you through it today for this purposes, because this is something that you will learn also in SOAR. But your user ID is always going to be your M140 number, your student ID, and remember that letter M has to be capitalized. And then at the first time you log in, please look at this, it's going to be your 6-digit birthday. For example, June 29th, 1989 is going to be 062989. So 2 month, 2 day, 2 year. It's very different than Canvas, so make sure you know that. So Canvas and Banner are going to be different. But once you get into your banner, you can change your pin to whatever you want, or you can leave it alone. You decide. But once you get into Banner, then this is where you're going to sign up for classes, and your advisor will walk you through this. All right, so now that you signed up for classes, how do you get your books? Well, you can go to our bookstore page and you can look at what books are needed and go talk to our bookstore here on campus, or you can just visit her without going through this website. That's totally fine. To find your textbooks, though, we go to textbook search, and you're going to put your course in and select your term. So we're going to go for Fall 23. And remember, we're just going to go back to that EDU 101 class I've used as an example. So we'll do EDU, and here's my 101, and here's the teacher. And then I'm going to hit, let me get my head out of the way here. So then we're going to click on that course number. The 101 is what we wanted. That is going to be over here, and it's going to say Find Books. So I'm going to find books, and here is what we're using for EDU 101. So they are pretty cheap books, but you need the Absolute Diary of a Part-Time Indian, Educating Esme, Teach with Your Heart, Letters to a Young Teacher, and Creative Schools. Those are all going to be books that we're going to be using for EDU 101. Seems like a lot, but if you look at our prices, used ones are pretty reasonable, $12, $12.75. Now, if I was a student, I would probably get talk to the instructor, look at the syllabus, maybe see which one you're using first, and kind of go from there. So that's how you order books. You can add to the cart, and it's just like online shopping. All right, so we talked to your advisor. We have you signed up for classes. We have the books. What's next? Well, what's next is going to be thinking about what do you need in this semester for your advisor. So think about those conversations that you might have, like what school would be best for me after MCC? What career choice would be best for me after MCC? What kind of connections do you have that I might need to know about? So some questions that you should be thinking about are future forward. Like, what are you going to be doing next? We love that you're here. We're happy you're here at MCC, but we want to make sure that we're the stepping ground for what's ever going to happen next for you. So please use that advisor as that tool. So again, my name is Annie Anderson. I'm at the Learning Center. There's quite a few things that we didn't hit in this video, but please make sure you read through the SOAR module, and you'll be able to get all that information. If you have any questions once you get to campus, please let me know. I'm going to make myself smaller here and go back up to the top of this page. And one thing that says right here is contact the Learning Center. That's where I am. So LC stands for Learning Center at mylcc.edu. Please reach out. Anytime we can help you through any of this, we can walk you through it. And if you get lost or confused, we'll point you in the right direction. And we look really forward to meeting you. All right. Thanks.